Hello and welcome or welcome back. This is Gonna Be Debt Free. And today I'm going to cover the trackers that I'm going to use. They're going to help in my journey to help me get where I'm going to be debt free. If you've watched my debt confession, you'll know that I have 6 different debts that I'm working on. Credit cards, personal loans, vehicle, etc. It is all consumer debt. None of it is student loan debt. And it comes to a total of over $134,000. So I'm going to create trackers for each of the 6 individual debts. Plus, I'm going to have one that's a compilation of all of them so that I can track how my total is going down also. So I'm going to start with my first one, which is my Chase debt tracker. So I'm going to fill in a couple things at the top, and then I'll come back and walk through it. Okay, so on my Chase card, my limit is $19,500, and my starting balance, when I started this journey, was $19,455. So I was really close to the limit. And on this one, my interest rate, thanks to the feds and all of their junk last year, it has gone up to 26.49%. And my starting minimum payment is $586. It's actually $585. I rounded up to make it easier to do the math. So that's where I started on this one card. And then I'm going to write in some information here and I'll be right back. Okay, so I started with, again, the $19,455. In my first biweekly of the year, I paid down, I made a payment of $293, which brought me to $19,162. In my second biweekly, I had my regular $293, but I also had a snowball of $4,610, which meant that I paid $4,903 on the second biweekly, which brought my total to $14,259. So at the end of that month, I did have interest that I found on I saw my statement, which was $140, which brought me up to $14,399. And then in my biweekly number 3, out of the 26 for the year, it's just my easiest way to track them. I had 3 things. I had rollover money, which was $3,055, which was money I had been holding out for a mortgage payment that I ended up not needing to make because I sold my house. I also had my regular biweekly, which was $293. And then I also had extra, which was $12,000. So if I subtract 55. So this brought me down to $11,344. This brought me down to $11,051. And this actually was an overpayment. I actually had more than enough. When I sat down to do the $12,000, I had $949 more than I actually owed when I sat down to make the payment. So, good news is this is paid off. And then this will roll over, and this will go to my Amex in my next bi-weekly. For me, I'm just doing things bi-weekly. I just can't handle doing it any more often. That it kind of messes with my head. So I will just add or subtract to this 26 times every year. So this is my tracker where I can kind of keep a little bit of a ledger and run the numbers. And then I decided that, I'm not doing any savings challenges, and I watch people have all this fun doing these savings challenges. So I decided that I'm going to do some different debt trackers. These are all from debtfreecharts.com. And they have some really great choices out there. So on this one, I wrote in Chase and put the amount in. And then each of these there are 10 letters, and each letter has 10 spaces, which meant that each full letter was $2,000 for me. Each space was $200. And then my goal was to get down here to zero. So I started at the top. And so I'll compare what I did here to what I did here. So it was 293, but instead of just doing a half, I colored in two of them. And then the 4,903 is how I got each letter's 2,000. So that was a full letter, and then two partial letters got me to, and a little bit more got me to the 4,900. Anyway. And then this blue is the 3,055. There's my $293 payment, and then the $12,000 just got me all the way paid off. These are cute. They're kind of fun, honestly. You just sit and color them in. It's kind of something to do, and it helps you track your progress. Honestly, although I think this is great, and I love that they have got 12 letters and each one is 12 space, or they've got 10 letters and each one is 10 spaces. So you just break everything into 100 pieces. And because this was almost $20,000, I just did $200 each. But you just do a little bit of math, write it down, and then you can color it in as you go. This gives you plenty of wiggle room and stuff, and it's kind of fun. And the best part was I got all the way to zero on this one. So I was super, super happy about that. I'm doing slightly different formats on the other ones just because they're going to take longer to pay off. This one, I found the tracker as I was finishing this up. I actually didn't know I was going to get this in this fast, but I knew I'd get close down to the bottom. But just find ones that are attractive to you. I'm going to move on to the next card now. Okay, so I'm back, and I've just filled out written in a little bit of the top information. So this is for my American Express credit card. My limit on that is $32,800, and my starting balance was $32,628. So again, really close to the limit when I started. This is another one where last year, with all the interest rate hikes, this one is also at 26.49%, which is just horrible. And my starting minimum payment is $1,097 technically, but I rounded it up to $1,098 so that bi-weekly I can just divide it in half and make it easier. So on this one, my starting balance was $32,628. And my first biweekly is half of the $1098, so I paid $549. For a total of $32,079. My second biweekly, I did the other half of my full payment. So it got me down to 31,530, but that's the end of a month. So I did have interest that accrued, which was $773 interest, just kind of a big setback, which got me to back up to 32,303. And then this last biweekly, I did another $549. So my current total is 31,754. And I do have a note for this next time that extra $949 from that was the extra from my chase will get paid towards this, and then hopefully I'll have additional snowball money that I can put into this. At minimum, I'll also have the $293 that was my chase minimum payment. So again, hopefully the snowball will help us moving forward faster. And then with this, I also have a tracker. Okay, so this is the type of tracker I'm doing for most of the rest of them, just because this it's much more linear. It just works better for me. So you put your starting total. You can either do it from the top or the bottom. I did it from the bottom so I can watch my numbers get smaller as I go up. You can do it the other way around, but this works for me. So there's my starting amount, and then as you hit each number, which I calculated out, these are in $650 increments all the way down. You can do it any way you want. As you get to that next area, you can call it everything below that line. So I'm currently at $31,754, which is above this line, but just barely. So I will just color up to that line, which that line goes here, which means I can color this one bottom space here. And I may come back and do it a little bit neater, but week over week, as I inch my way up, I can color row by row by row. And hopefully I'll be able to make some bigger chunks. But there's 650, and for me, based on this amount, divided by 50, I broke it into $650. And so I have to have at least an increase of $650 to get up to the next line. And that is how I'm going to track my American Express card. So let's go get the next one. Okay, I'm back, and my next one is my personal loan debt tracker, and I just started with a couple of the blanks. So this actually has a $20,000 limit, but this is a loan, so I can't increase it over. My starting balance was $11,779, and so I can't increase it over that, which is great. My interest rate on this one is 11.99%. And my starting minimum payment is $170, which is really low, but it's because this is a 10-year loan. And a lot of this goes to interest because the payments are so low that I'm not really making a lot of headway month over month. But let me show you what I found as I went through this. Okay, so as I said, my starting balance was $11,779. And my $170 payment, I paid $85. So 11,779 minus 85, which got me down to 11,694. My second biweekly, I did another 85. Which got me down to 11,609, and then interest hit. And my interest on this loan is currently $118 a month, which is about 2/3 of my actual payment. And at that rate, it's why it takes 10 years. Low payments are great for being able to afford it, but it means you're dragging this out for so long. So So when I add back in the interest, that brought me back up to 11,727. And you can see it wiped out most of the progress. And then this last biweekly was my third one. I did another $85 payment, which means my balance is currently $11,642. There's no way I'm doing this for 10 years. As soon as I get my big credit cards done, that's why I'm tacking this one next, because it is such a long and slow payment process. And I will go get the tracker. Okay, and this is another chart from debtfreecharts.com. They have dozens, if not hundreds, of charts out there that it already was filled out. It's already said personal loan, which is perfect for what I was looking for. So you can see I broke mine down into my increments, 50 chunks. That gets me to $11,779. But I can't color a line. 1/50th is 11,515. I'm not even there yet. I have not even gotten 2% of this paid off with the money I've paid so far. So this one's gonna be a lot slower to fill out, because over 10 years, which is 100 months, it would take me months and months to be able to make increments on this. So it's why having a snowball and focusing on these and trying to get them knocked out faster is better, because I signed up for it and I didn't really pay attention. I was like, oh yeah, 10 years, blah, blah, blah. I can afford $170 a month. But this loan will cost me more than double of my original amount if I just do the minimum payments, because that's how compound interest works. And as much as we all want to save so that we have compound interest working for us, credit cards figured out compound interest a long time ago. And that's why they make so much money off of us doing this. So this is one of the ones that really makes me angry. But I've got to get the credit cards first, and then I will attack this one. Okay, let me go and grab the next one. Okay, so my original limit on my Home Depot is $30,000. And this started as a revolving card, and it's a loan technically, and it's a locked in, I can no longer add anything to it. It's a specific project loan. So my starting balance is $9,309. My interest rate on this one is much better. It's 5.99%. My starting payments, my minimum payments are $287. I rounded it to $288 to make it easier to divide. And this is a 3-year loan, so this one doesn't bother me anywhere near as much. So my starting balance is $9,309, and my first biweekly payment was half of the 288, which is 144. So 9309 minus 144 is 9,165. My second biweekly was another $144, which brought me down to 9,021. I do have interest accruing on this, but it's only $47, which feels so much better than the others. It brought me up to $9,068. And then biweekly 3 that I just did was another $144 payment, which brings me to $8,924 as my current balance. And let me go grab the tracker and I will be right back. Okay, and here is the tracker. This spot is just blank. I just wrote that in. So you can do this for all of your credit cards. It's not technically a credit card, but it was the closest I could come up with. And it started as a credit card that I could swipe, so that worked for me. So my total is $8,924. So this is broken in, my total of $9,309 is broken into 50 increments. And so each line when I get up to one, I can do it. So 8,924 is less than, which means higher than this $9,065, which means I can color in this bottom row. I don't know that I like the Sharpies for coloring them in, but it works for now. And I'll come back and clean that in. So that's how that will work, and as I make progress, I'll just color my way up to the top when I will be at 0. Okay, let me go grab the next one. Okay, so my next one is my American Express personal loan. That started with a limit of $30,000, and my starting balance was $28,430. My interest rate on this is 5.98%, and my payments are all exactly $914. Okay, so my minimum payments are $914, and unlike a credit card, these payments don't go down because this is a loan. It's $914 a month for 36 months. It's a 3-year loan. It'll pay off, it'll with the interest and stuff, it'll pay off $914 exactly. It won't stretch out any longer than that. It's one of the reasons why I did it this way. Okay, so my starting balance was $28,430. On my first biweekly, I did half of the $914, which is $457. Which brought me down to $27,973. My second biweekly was another $457, which brought me down to $27,516. My interest for the month was $139, which brought me up to $27,655. And then my last biweekly was another $457 payment, which brought my total down to $27,198. So I'll go grab the tracker and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the chart I had for debtfreecharts.com. They actually have 2 different American Express styles that are already filled out for American Express. There's this one that I use for the credit card that has the backgrounds already blacked out. And then there's this one that was white, and that way I could keep them a little straighter in my head. So my total at the time was $28,430. When I started my debt-free journey, I actually started with $30,000, of course. And then I broke it into the 50 increments to get me up to 0. So I can color in when I get to each number. So I'm at 27,198. So I'm higher than the 27,840. I'm actually higher than the 27,260. So I can color up to this line. So I can color up to this line. Actually, I don't have another pen, but I think I'm going to do it where I color the outside part one color, and then color the inside of the letters a different color. Let's see if I can find another color pen. So all I found was red, so I'm just going to color in red. And that means I can color this row and that row and that row and that row. And I will probably get some better colors to color these in with. I just don't have any with me right now. And so that's how that one will work. And again, this payment is so much higher, which means I'm making more progress, right? Those lower payments, I just don't make progress as fast. And so they're going to take forever to pay off. So the other thing I really like about the charts is that really shows it. This one, I wasn't able to color anything on it because it's only $170 a month payment. This one, I may be paying $914 a month, but I'm also making progress towards the total. And even though this amount is more than twice, actually almost 3 times as much, I'm still making bigger progress because the amount I'm putting towards it is so much bigger. And that, for me, that kind of visualization is really, really helping me. So I will go get the next one and I will be right back. Okay, so my next tracker will be for my truck payment. So my original limit was $35,000. My starting balance was $33,206. This is also at a 5.99% interest rate. And my payment is, well, it's $553. I rounded it up to $554, so it's easier to split into biweekly payments. Okay, so my starting balance, $33,206. My first biweekly payment was $277. Brought my balance to $32,929. My second biweekly was also $277, which brought my total down to $32,652. Then my statement showed the interest at $166. This is a 5-year loan. So I add the $166 of interest back in. It brings me back up to $32,818. And then this last biweekly was another $277 payment, which brings my current total to $32,541. So I will go get the tracker and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the tracker, again, from debtfreecharts.com. I thought this was great. It says truck, has a little truck on it, obviously to track my truck payment. So again, my total is $33,206 from when I started. There are 50 increments to mark here, so I figured out about what it would be. So every $675, I can color it in. So my current balance is $32,541, which is less than that, but not quite to $32,400. So I can only color in this one bottom line. I did find different highlighters, so I'm just going to color in this one bottom row and watch the progress on paying off my truck. And now I'll go get the tracker for all of my debt all combined. And because I wanted to have it all on one page, I want each of these to be able to track my payments and what's going on with them. But I do want a summary of all of it together. So that's what I'm gonna do next, and I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. So this is the tracker for all of my debt. So I have my Chase, American Express, personal loan, Home Depot, my American Express personal loan, my truck, and then a running total. And so I'm gonna go in and I'll fill out the starting line and then I'll be right back. Okay, so these are my starting balances. It was $19,455, $32,628, $11,779, $9,309, $28,430, $33,206, which gave me my starting total when I started my debt-free journey was $134,807. And then what I'm going to do is after I do whatever I'm doing each biweekly, I'm going to carry forward the new totals for each of these so that I can watch as those numbers each go down and watch as my total goes down. So I'm going to go back and fill these in because I've now done on each individual tracker. I have the each of the 3 biweeklies in there and the new totals for each of these going across. So I'll go fill these in and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my total debt tracker. So for each of the individual debts, I put it in and I can go through, and by weekly 4, I'll just keep bringing them across week by week. And then I did my totals off on the side. So after the first week, I was down to 133,000. After the second week, I had a snowball. I had a $4,600 snowball I was able to put at things, which brought me down to 126,000. And then I had enough to pay off the Chase card. And I had some rollover money and a big snowball. And it brought me down, my current bill, even after just a few weeks, is $112,059, which, if we do the math, 134,807 minus 112,059 equals, take that and divide it by 134,807. So I paid off 17% of my total debt in just 3 paychecks, which is really, really great. I don't know if I can keep up that momentum, but it is really great to see that kind of progress that fast. And I obviously had progress on the Chase, but there's not progress really. It's so slow on the things you're not snowballing. But as you pay each one off, it does have an impact to the total, which is really great to see. And this does reflect having added back in the interest, which it's sometimes hard to do when you're tracking so many things, but I did do it up till this point. So these are really accurate numbers. So I do have a tracker for this, and I will go grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the tracker that I selected for tracking my total debt. It's got 24 different lines, which will cover most of the paychecks for this year, because I've got 26 paychecks in a year and I do a bi-weekly budget. It's got room here for my total starting balance. But there weren't quite enough lines in here. So what I decided to do for me is I'm starting at the top, and it's designed so that debt is going down. As I pay it down, I watch the lines that I color in get shorter and shorter and shorter as I get down. Now, the only way I could make it work, because I have such a big chunk of debt at 134,807, is this top row is this 134,000. And then I brought it down from 130. Each bar is 5,000. And then each segment here, I drew lines across, shows an improvement of 25,000. But I didn't have enough room to go all the way down, so I just brought it down to 20,000. And I'll track the last 20,000 separately. Once I get down to that point, I'll just do a new tracker and try that last 20,000, because this is of my total debt, which is really great. So I started here. That's what the X is, 134,807. Then after the first biweekly, I was at $133,002, which is between 130 and 134. I'm just putting a line right about there. And then what I'll do is I'll color that in. To represent how much debt I have. And then after the second biweekly, my total was 126,587. So it's not quite 125,000, but it's lower than the 130. So I'm just going to put a line here. And from here, I will just this down. And then after the third biweekly, my total was $112,059, which, so here's 110, and it's not quite all the way down there, but it's more than halfway below it. So I'm just going to draw a line there. And highlight all the way down under number 3. So this is a bar chart. And so these are my financial increments and my increments of time across the bottom. Bi-weekly 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 24, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So that's 50, that's 75, that's 100. And you can see that I've already dropped from there all the way down to there in just the first couple of weeks. And I'll just keep going week after week, marking a new spot, coloring it down, and I can watch as it steps week after week as it steps down till I get down to this fabulous little zero somewhere down here. And this is another one from Debt Free Charts. It is called Debt is Going Down. And for me, this really worked because bar charts are something I use at work. So I wanted to have at least one of them in here to be able to track it in my head. So those are my debt trackers. Those are my current numbers, $112,059 after 3 paychecks. And I have not yet applied the $949 rollover. Plus, now that Chase is paid off, I have at least that $293 to add to my snowball every paycheck. So it's nice once you start getting the momentum to start seeing the progress happen. And I'm really excited about this. And I am so grateful for this community, for, oh my gosh, for the amazing support. Your comments are awesome. It took me a while to get into figuring out how to do the comments and to respond and stuff, but now I've got that figured out. It's been great. A lot of people are asking for a totals update. So that is the update, but I'll also be able to track these more moving forward too. And I will be able to do updates more frequently, maybe even every whenever, not sure yet. But thank you for the support, and thank you for the encouragement, and thank you for the inspiration. I have just been binge watching so many videos, and so many people are so smart about all this stuff. And it is really helping me to figure out how to move forward and how to make progress on my journey. And if you're on a debt-free journey, put something in the comments below, and I'll go find you so I can binge watch you too. And I appreciate you. And my next video will be my next biweekly paycheck, which fortunately is coming up quickly. And I will just catch you all next time. Thanks so much.